among them another little horn, before whom there were three of the first horns plucked up by it.
Can you read verse 7 again, Robert?
Okay. Daniel 7:7. It says, after this I saw in the night visions, and behold, a fourth beast, dreadful and terrible, and strong exceedingly, and it had great iron teeth.
Right, great iron teeth. All right, symbolizing its military power, might. All right, which, matter of fact, when the Roman Empire was so strong that really was able to revive itself. When you go into Malachi 1, all right, the so-called Renaissance, all right, which that word literally means rebirth. All right, this nation, or the Roman Empire, all right, because we know the Western Roman Empire fell, all right, and then you had the Eastern Roman Empire that, prospered for a certain amount of time, all right, but ultimately it was so effective, it was so on point to a certain extent that they came back. Esau revived it. You got it up.
Who built the desolate places?
Yeah. And even Esau commemorates that by brothers always going to the Treaty of Rome. That's how he kind of upholds Rome. Roman mentality.
Did you read Star Wars that it devoured and break in pieces?
Okay. This is Daniel chapter 7:7, and in the middle of the verse, it says, it devoured and break in pieces and stamped the residue with the feet of it.
Yep, going into the nations that it conquered.
Yep.
And something else you'll see when you go into the history of Rome is it employed divide and conquer, right? A lot. And that's really that's an Esau tendency.
Yep.
He'll infiltrate your nation, all right, and basically divide the people. And then like what we see in today's time with these proxy wars, right? He'll invade a nation and then supply, money, monetary gain, weapons, all right, and various other things to rise up a coup in your nation.
That's right.
So it's Rome all over again.
He's doing it spiritually too, with the other camps.
Yep.
Yeah. It's the truth. So good. We'll support you with money if you teach this.
Yeah, thou have needed thee.
Yep. That divide and conquer spirit. So guess what? Joke's on you, Esau. Because Yahweh Shemi Al-Shah is about to employ that on you. All right? He getting ready to divide and conquer your kingdom, man. And that's what we see playing out. We see, we know according to the scriptures, all right, the 10 horns are gonna burn the whore with fire.
That's right.
All right, those of thy confederacy have deceived thee. You got
They have brought thee even unto the borders.
And the greatest thing about it is it's happening literally right now on the news, and Jake still can't see it.
Yeah.
So there goes uprising, man, and bucking back at America for all of the legislation and different things that are passing. It's literally, this is the greatest time to be alive, man. That's right here, right now. You got it.
No.
My bad.
This is Daniel chapter 7, and the ending of verse 7. It says, and it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it, and it had 10 horns.
Yep. That's its political system. Right. So-called, democratic republic. All right. Democracy. All right. Which is really nothing but a fucking shell game. It's not real.
Right.
All right. It's an illusion.
Two wings of the same bird.
Right. Two wings of the same bird, man. It's a big fucking WWE wrestling match. But you got it person. It's like
Verse 8. The Daniel chapter 7, verse 8. It says, I considered the horns, and behold, there came up among them another little horn.
Yep, and that little horn is America. All right, and horns symbolize power. All right, and you go into, you watch Animal Planet, right? You look at particular animals in nature. All right, the difference between life and death for a lot of animals is a horn. All right, whether it's got both of its horns, one horn, that gives it its power. That gives it its ability to basically fend off other animals. All right, and again, this vision was an actual, this was actually Daniel seeing a damn great beast, but it was telling, it was going into history, and it was all spiritual.
Yes.
You got it.
Kind of continuing on, it says, before whom there were three of the first horns plucked up by the roots, and behold, In this horns were eyes like the eyes of man, and a mouth speaking great things.
Yep, and those 3 horns that it's talking about is the French, the Spanish, and the British.
Right.
All right, and that covers the history of basically the 13 colonies. All right, conquering, what is called North America. All right, taking down, French, right, the French-American War, the Spanish-American War, where I believe Texas was acquired, and then the War of Independence, the war between, America, or what, 13 colonies, all right, the states, and then Great Britain. The mother of Babylon the Great. That's mentioned in I believe it's what, Jeremiah 50, where it talks about the mother.
Should be short confounded.
That's going into Great Britain. So that one, those details, right, and that shows you how heavy the scriptures are. Those little details and what Daniel saw told the story, told history. What we know is history.
It's the spirit that revealed it unto us, because most people would read these things and they wouldn't be able to gather what we've gathered. Of course, what we've learned through the apostles, the bishops, the elders on down, and their teachers. Right. It was all the Holy Spirit coming down as prophesied and foretold in the scriptures, man. It's heavy, bro.
That's right.
That's why I hate these devils, because man, we growing up in kindergarten, middle school, high school, learning bullshit. They history. I mean, it's partly accurate because they give you something true about Alexander. There is an Alexander the Great and all of that stuff, but the way they tell a story, y'all ain't never been shit. We just been these great people, and we believe in all that bullshit. It's like, Esau, you go get it, baby.
They always relegated us back to the 1600s. They never went.
Like we just came out of thin air. We was on slave ships, and then that's it. That's your history.
Well, see, you're learning from the victor, all right? So you're learning from his story. Right?
That's right.
And it's not the story; it's what he portrays to be, your story.
They say who wins the war controls the pen.
Well, that's what's beautiful, because Yahweh shall win the war, so that's why he's had all these things written down.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like ultimately, you know what I'm saying? So ultimately, we know who got the
Message.
We gonna jump into Revelation. We were going about an hour, so we gonna go through Revelation 17, down to verse 6. We gonna breeze through it.
I got you right here. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 17, verse 1. And there came one of the 7 angels which had the 7 vials, and talked with me, saying unto me,
And a vial is basically a shallow bowl. You got it.
Come hither. I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters.
The great whore, all right, that sitteth among many waters, all right. And America is likened unto a whore, all right. Not only because the behavior of the women, but because it's basically it sells its people. It sells its body, which is what a harlot does. So a harlot sells her body, all right, for financial gain, all right. And that's what we see. America does with its population. It sells everything about you. Matter of fact, it sells you. Who you are as a person, your soul. Matter of fact, could we grab Revelation 18? The souls of men? Souls of men. All right, because everything about you is owned and sold at a price, all right, to the highest bidder. And that's actually being made manifest with the whole AI, the whole data. This whole age where data is being brought to the forefront. Everything you watch, everything about you, your biometrics, this and that, it's all being sold. It's all being gathered and collected.
It's just like the stock market. Whenever it was first made, who was on the stock market? Who started the stock market?
Right.
The so-called Black Latinos and Native Americans of Negroid descent.
Excellent.
Because they were sold for nothing, as it says in that Isaiah chapter 52, verse 3. You have sold yourselves for naught, but you will be redeemed without money. And that's through the blood of Yahweh Shai. But it's the same thing, all right. And it's been a continuation.
I got the Revelations 18. So
Yeah, you got it.
God, this is that. I'll just get straight to the point now. And when you go through this list here, it's basically talking about, because we know America to be a consumer country, and all the nations of the earth have become rich off of us because all we do is buy. We don't create. So when you go into Revelation 18th chapter, just to give you a background, as you get to, you know, to the middle towards the end, it talks about all the things that America has purchased and has. Yeah, it goes on to say, now to get straight to the point here, it says, among other things, iron, marble, it says, and cinnamon and odors and ointments and frankincense and wine and oil, fine flour, wheat and beasts and sheep and horses and chariots. So just imagine these things in today's technology, right? Cars, ships, whatnot. Slaves and souls of men.
Yep. Slaves and souls of men. All right, and that's not even considering all the damn. I don't even know if I can say it. Trafficking, right? So-called. You know, read between the lines, man. All the people trafficking that's going on behind the scenes. All right, primarily, you know, Jake. You know, young, specifically, you know, a lot of young children.
Yep.
You know,
Human trafficking.
Human trafficking, man.
Yeah.
Organ
trafficking.
You know.
Hold on, now melanin trafficking.
Yeah.
Oh, nice man, we'll sell everything.
They say a gram of melanin is worth more than a gram of gold or something.
Yeah, it's like
that.
300,
Yeah.
almost like 400 something, $450 now.
Crazy.
Wow.
For a gram.
They actually use that now to make microchips.
So, you know, in Hollywood, the A to the chrome. You know,
Yeah.
bro, it's like, I want to say it's like 80, 90,000 children that go missing every year. Where the hell are they going, bro?
Exactly. You know, especially around this so-called Passover,
Man.
those numbers skyrocket.
Yep.
Just like what's that movie with Forrest Whitaker where they were selling their kidneys? They come to get you.
The Repo.
Yeah.
That was a cool movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta go back and watch that.
Yeah. You need that kidney. Brutal, man.
Yeah.
You know, but that's the point. You know, the point is basically, this is the final exam. You know, this wicked empire, this wicked kingdom that's been set up. All right. Yes, it's, you know, because the scriptures even called it great. This great city. All right. It's carnally great, right? Esau's got all this technology, right? He's got, you know, he's the prince of the power of the air, right? He's manipulating the weather, right? He's blasting all these frequencies, right? Contaminating the water. Yep, he's been given rain to do all that, but guess what? The elect and the remnant are still gonna overcome. All right, they still gonna pass the test, pass the exam, man. Can we go? We'll jump back to Revelation 17. We'll just jump down to verse 6.
Okay.
And we'll read a couple of scriptures and we'll close out.
Back in Revelation chapter 17, verse 6, and upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth.
Yep, a mother. All right, Mystery Babylon the Great, right? Mystery, all right, going into all the, you know, left hand dark arts and witchcraft that this place is, you know, committed, all right, here and abroad. All right, and it likens it unto a mother as well, you know, because a mother is a nurturer. You know, a mother is the first teacher as well, you know, when it comes to the kids. Yeah. And all Babylon the Great has done is teach wickedness. All right, teach all these other nations basically how to do what it's doing, right? How to sell out your population, right? How to destroy the men, destroy the children, all for what? Financial gain, man, and vain fucking glory, man.
It says you cannot be satisfied, man. This is ridiculous.
Hey, what's that?
That's what I got.
Yeah, we'll get there.
That Wisdom of Solomon 14:4, where it talks about he is a Nagar. Bible shot.
This is Wisdom of Solomon. Salaki. Wisdom of Solomon. No, that's not 14.
It's called Swab, you know, but it goes into like he is
He's a nigga.
yeah.
Yep.
Nagar, you know, he's unsatiable. You know,
Original
he
nigga.
wants everything.
He's the original nigga, man.
He's the original nigga.
Let's lead us into this Habakkuk 2 and 5. It says, I'll start at verse 4, Habakkuk 2 and 4. You know, we always read the top of this chapter, you know, when we're out there on the highways and hedges, because it goes into making it, the things are for appointed time, though they tarry, wait for it, they will surely come to pass, they will not tarry. You know, which might seem like a contradiction, but like the brother brought out that 1 Thessalonians, the 5th chapter, you know, suddenly destruction shall come upon them. And it's a culmination of all these different things going on in the planet Earth, dealing with trade, dealing with war, tensions between nations, the dollar, how it's lost its value. All these various different things are working together to lead into that final sudden judgment where the Lord is like, boom, this is it, and then the end is like right there. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. The worst time in human history.
Mhm.
Daniel 12.
Yep.
You got it up.
Habakkuk 2:4 it says, "Behold," and you know I was talking about those first couple verses, and then it goes right into this devil, man.
Yep.
You know, it says, "Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith."
Yep.
You know, you can speak on it if you want.
Yep, the just shall live by faith. All right, can the brother hold 1 Peter 4:12? Right, because again, that tells you right there, man. This thing is all about faith. The Lord wants to see where your faith is at. It's not about how many precepts you know. It's not about how many subscribers you got on a YouTube page, right, or how deep you sound, right, at Home Depot breaking the scriptures down to fucking Caesar. It ain't about that, man. It's about who are you? Do you believe in this thing?
Attention.
You know,
Intentionality is everything.
intentionality, bro. You got it up.
Habakkuk 2:5 it says, "Yeah, also because he transgresseth by wine," which we went into that wine, that his philosophies, his doctrine, what he pretty much indoctrinates you from a child to believe, but also pushes unto these other nations. It says, "He is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth the desire is hell, and is as death, neither keepeth at home," meaning he can't, like the brother was what is that, Wisdom of Solomon that you were quoting? You know, he's insatiable, man. You know, who enlargeth his desire is hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gather unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. Revelation 17, Revelation 18, right? It says, "Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, Woe to him that increaseth that which is not his? How long?" Because he got all these things, Sirach 10:8. Because of unrighteous dealings, riches gotten by deceit, injuries, the kingdom shall be translated from one people to another. You know, and that's where we're at in this thing. It says, "Woe to him that increaseth that which is not his. How long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay." You know, what you got it, bro?
Baruch shot that was Sirach chapter 14 verse 4.
Oh, Sirach 14.
Yeah.
Okay.
You want to get it?
Baruch shot.
Get it? You got it?
Yeah, this is Sirach chapter 1,
Yeah, Baruch shot chapter 3.
This is Sirach chapter 14, verse 3 and 4. It says, "Riches are not comely for a niggard."
Esau's the biggest nigga to ever be created. All right, here it is. The power of the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. And what did Esau do with that power? He's created now the new thing, the new wine, right? Esau's whole new thing now is fucking AI.
Yeah.
AI is God.
Yeah.
All right, AI is gonna ultimately,
Kill us all. I mean,
It's that golden calf.
gonna save him.
That's a golden calf, man.
You know, like when you watch a movie, right, and the villain is like the one project that the villain is primarily working on. Like he's doing a bunch of wickedness, but like you watch Batman, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, he had the other crimes, he did these other things, but he's got that one. He's like, this is the one. This is going to be the end of it all. You know,
It's like the brother always says. It's like Frankenstein.
Frankenstein, exactly.
Because one of you brothers saw, a couple of you brothers put it in the chat where they were working on that AI robot. They just freaked out and started slapping motherfuckers. Excuse my French, but just started slapping and swinging. Same situation that happened with Mark Zuckerberg back Facebook a few years back, 2017. The computers started talking to each other. All these things are created by Yahweh Shem Shah, man. And that day that we're coming into, man, this man is going to be he's gonna be a victim of his own creation.
No, that's right.
They shout out to Baruch.
I was gonna say on that too. Also, it said Negro because he has enough riches to like stop poverty.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's still all these poor people walking around. Then you got poor Edomites at that.
Yep.
So that shows you that this dude he doesn't give a fuck about people, the well-being of his whole nation. Just him.
You know what else too? When I think about, he built these robots and just don't know. They know the Bible. They know this because what the word is saying. The robot might be like, "Get you Esau. We gonna start whooping your ass. We done figured the shit out, you know."
That's what's been going into.
I'm like, you the mother.
You're the problem.
Yeah.
Well, the
I'm
scripture
glad
says
you
that
did.
every hand of the wicked, going into laborers, very well could be his AI as well.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep. In the phase that we're in now Esau's getting ready to basically bring everybody in. He's getting ready to indoctrinate all these people into worshiping AI. All right? And whether they're doing it, explicitly or not, right? If you buying into this system, right? Because when Esau comes out with the MOTB,
It's over.
by you taking the MOTB, that's that badge of servitude.
That's allegiance.
That's that allegiance.
Right.
You know.
And that's why Yahweh told us to not love the world, because if you stuck on this social media and the things that come with it, you gonna fall.
Finish it out.
This is Sirach chapter 14, verse 3, the latter part of the verse. It says, "And what should an envious man do with money?"
Esau Edom. You know, continue.
Verse 4, "He that gathereth by defrauding his own soul, gathereth for others."
No, because Esau Edom is gathering up all this gold, all this silver, and all this everything, but it's just going to be transferred over unto the elect.
Isaiah 60.
My man.
That's right.
Man, you can go ahead and start at 4 at the top and then read it out.
Sirach chapter 14, verse 4 says, "He that gathereth by defrauding his own soul, gathereth for others, that shall spend his goods righteously." Riotously. Riotously.
You know, so wickedness, Esau Edom, you know, he's doing his best to be the best nigga ever. Hey, just sit back and watch. There's more.
A riot is a rebellion.
Right.
And that's all Esau's programmed to be, is a rebel.
Right.
It's completely adverse to the ways of righteousness. All right, and he's getting ready to be taken out the way. You know, but we've been going about an hour 10.
Yeah, my bad.
We go ahead and we'll close out on. Can we grab Joshua 24 and 15? All right, because the primary question, all right, that's going to be, the primary question that's about to be presented, all right, is, are you going to take the MOTB at the end of the day?
That's it.
All right, are you going to stand stiffly? Are you going to, trust in Yahweh Shemel Shai and endure the hour of temptation? All right, or are you going to get hungry after a couple of days and take the MOTB? That's what the exam comes down to. That's the the question on the test, the primary question on the test.
Just to add to it, the only way you can say whatever you want to say, but if you're not doing this work, this ministry, if you're not, confessing every Yahweh Shemel Shai, if you ever repented, doesn't matter what you say. You're gonna take it because the Lord's gonna put the Spirit on you to do it. You have no way out.
Yeah, and this, if I may, bro, this verse, you'll see it on a lot of people's windshields. You'll see it on a little wooden placard hung up on their wall or on a fucking nightstand or something. But this is heavy, bro. This is heavy. You know what the brother's about to read in this, not Jeremiah, Joshua 24 and 15. That's something we all gotta ask ourselves, like the brother going into, man. So.
Yep.
Whoever got it. This is Joshua 24 and 15. And it reads, "And if it seems evil unto you to serve the Lord, choose ye this day whom ye shall serve. Whether it be the gods which your fathers served that were on the other side of the flood, or the gods of the Amorites, in whose lands ye dwell."
Yep. Can I read this real quick? This is it says, I just typed in Joshua 24 context. It says Joshua 24 is the final chapter of the book of Joshua. It records Joshua's farewell speech to the tribes of Israel at Shechem, a covenant renewal ceremony where he calls on the people to serve the Lord with sincerity and truth, recounts Israel's history, and presents them with a choice. And that's basically what this is.
That's right now.
Covenant renewal ceremony. We're awaiting the new covenant. We're awaiting the new bodies. All right, and for Yahweh Shemel Shai to conquer the planet Earth. You got that.
Down it goes and say, the gods which your fathers served that were on the other side of the flood, or the gods of the Amorites, in whose land ye dwell. But as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord.
Yep. So that's the point, man. Choose ye this day, who you're gonna serve. But as the brother said, all right, you have to do the work beforehand.
Yeah.
That's why the scripture's going into studying to show thyself approved, examining thyself. You ain't just gonna get the final exam, right? You ain't done no work. You ain't read one assignment, one chapter. All right, you just gonna pop up and ace the test.
You're gonna slide into the kingdom.
It don't work like that, man.
A bunch of pop quizzes beforehand. There's a whole semester, or two that you gotta go through first.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
So, you know, unless a brother had anything, you know, we'll go ahead and close on that. With that, I'm going to give all praises, honor, and glory to
Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahushai Ba'Hashem HaKadosh.
double honors again to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone that taught us this truth. And shalom to the next lesson.
Shalom.
Shalom.